this show. We've got a few things that we got to get underway here. I thank you very much for joining us. Welcome, Facebook followers, as well as TikTok followers, and our YouTube followers. What you're looking right now at is the tornado risks. Took a moment for me to get things going here, but the tornado risks for today is in and around Lubbock, down to even Abilene area, and we're expecting that to happen later on today. But I do want to thank you very much for following us. If you haven't already, go ahead and make sure that you do follow. We're going to touch base on a lot of things. We're going to talk about the weather risks that you have for today, of course. We'll touch base with that first. There's a few current warnings going on, nothing real huge. That is in the Oklahoma area, Texas area. There's even some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts over into Florida and Georgia areas. So if you're just joining us, be sure to stick around and we'll cover all of those as best as possible. Now, the Oklahoma and the Texas ones, that one actually does have half-dollar size hail. Let's go to that one and see what we can find out here. I'm using a new radar, so this is going to look quite different than what you're used to. So I apologize, but I'm trying to utilize something that is more cost effective as well as still gets the job done. So I appreciate you all joining. Here are the major storms that we have going on right now. Again, 1.25 inch radar indicated hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. This is heading to the southeast. Let's move that through. At 7:58, a severe thunderstorm was located 7 miles northwest of Byers, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Of course, this is in areas of Oklahoma. Again, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to continue to push off to the southeast and hit areas into Texas here. You may end up seeing some of this approach Sherman, McKinney area before it kind of dies out. I do expect this to kind of die out and then redevelop later in the day. Let's go back to those risks that we have for today. As you can see, the general thunderstorms is outlined, pretty significant area of general thunderstorms, but the tornado outlook is isolated to Lubbock, Abilene, all the way over to Fort Worth area. In this green shade, that is the 2% risk, and the brown is the 5% risk. We even have areas over here with the Memphis, Tennessee area, Clarksville, just west of Nashville area, even to the east of Bentonville. You do have that risk for tornadoes. Mobile, Alabama, New Orleans area do have risks for tornado activity again later today. Not expecting it. Hi, Tim. Welcome. Yes, yes, they do look very good. Unfortunately, I'm not even going to be able to. Next Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are looking very good for the Northern Plains, and we're going to touch base on that also for some of the Central Plains. Ontario, Oregon, 92. That's some heat. Or Oregon. So the East Coast is expected at 2% risk for today for tornadic activity. Let's go ahead and look at the wind risks. That's a little bit more widespread. Again, Abilene area, Lubbock area. You guys can see that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think as far as this weather app goes. I'm utilizing this now. The one that I was thinking of using isn't as it's not as sufficient or efficient as what I had originally thought. So we're using WeatherWise today. All right, so Lubbock, Midland, San Angelo, and Stephenville area. This is the hail risk for today. Pretty significant. Again, this isn't going to happen until later in the day, sometime after 3 o'clock. Carol, thank you so much. Haslett, Texas. All right, let me see if I can utilize this. Again, this is a little bit new for me, so it's going to take a moment here. Appreciate y'all joining. Go to so Haslett area. You guys are. Let's see here. Haslett. 1 second. I had it. Well, good to know. This app seems to have the same issue that I had on the other one here. There we go. So Haslett, you're in that risk for hail, but not as significant. Again, most of this is going to be late afternoon, somewhere around 4 p.m. So stay weather aware around that time frame. Rose, good morning from Greenville, North Carolina. TikTok follower, appreciate it. Let's go ahead and take a look at Greenville and see what's expected over there. That is in Pitt County. For today, not so bad. For areas of tomorrow, that changes a little bit. Here's tomorrow's risk. You got a slight risk all up and down the East Coast line. This does not at this time include much of a tornado risk. However, there is that 2% risk for tomorrow in areas of North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way back down into areas like Dublin, Cordell, even stretching as far south as close to Albany, Georgia. So you're going to have uh, quite a few risks there as well. The wind threat, again, that's going to be pretty significant as well. Not a hatched area, thankfully, but the hail risk, that's going to be there as well. Let's go back to these risks that were the live radar, just checking on these ones here that are over by Temple. Again, I'm just kind of learning a little bit with this other radar app. If that was to last an hour, could you imagine 14 inches of rain per hour? Goodness gracious, that's a lot. Toodles, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Again, if you're just joining us, be sure to go ahead and smash the like button if you're on Facebook. You can even send stars. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and do a follow, do a solid on TikTok as well. Looking at these storms here over by Temple, not too significant as far as rotation goes. So, again, expecting that to kind of die out throughout the morning hours and then ramp up as moisture comes barreling in. Morning, can you check Brownwood, Texas? I could certainly check that for you. Brownwood, Texas. Thank you very much. You guys are currently, I believe, in a flooding. That's what I thought I seen, but let's just double check here. Yeah, you're inside that's in Orange County, Texas. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what your guys' risk. I mean, you guys got plenty of, excuse me, plenty of moisture that's expected to go through there as well. Let me go ahead and take a look at the outlooks. Brownwood, Texas area, you're expecting 5% hail risk, so not real significant for the hail. The wind threat, that's for day 2, I apologize. Today's risk, let me get to that. Again, still learning this new app. Still feeling a little bit under the weather, too. Jay Grandma. All right.
A new severe thunderstorm
We
warning
have a
has been
new
issued.
severe thunderstorm warning. This has got 1-inch hail, quarter-size hail, Cotton County, Oklahoma, Clay County, Texas. That's until 8:45 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Again, We do currently have 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings. Thankfully, no tornado warnings. All right. So, in your area of Brownwood, Texas, not expecting anything real huge today. Again, the overall risk for today is marginal risk. So just stay weather aware, and that is expected to be late in the day. I wouldn't suspect that that stuff would get going until probably after dinner time, after 5 o'clock. So just be mindful of that. All right, let's go ahead and move to. I want to skip over to day 3 real quick. This is again going to be a marginal risk, and this is going to cover areas of Washington, uh, D.C. area, Richmond, Newport News, Virginia Beach, Raleigh. That's going to be marginal risk. But now, what I want to do for my uh, chaser fellows is I want to show you what the probabilistic outlook is. If I could find that here. There we go. This is for day 5, I believe. Let's go ahead. All right. So, plains, northern plains chasing. Day 5 ends up being on Sunday into Monday. So, if this plays out, I may be able to do some field chasing. I might just say, hey, I need some time off of work, and maybe they'll let me. I don't know. Might be able to do some chasing in the field. The risks are 15% severe risk. And let me kind of show you on pivotal weather here. 1 second. Might be able to show that a little bit better of what we're expecting here. 1 second. And the reason why I'm pushing South Dakota right now is that we haven't really seen a whole lot of risks in the northern plains. And so the reason why I'm kind of pushing this one right now is it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good setup. Hold on one moment. I'm trying to get to a look at Euro APHIS here. Don't know how far out that's going to go. 1 second. There we go. Okay, let's see if I could get this national look here. 1 second, folks. All right, so this is what we're looking at here. This is right now looking at Thursday the 29th. If we progress this further, this is looking at the Euro model and the bulk shear. That's what we want to look for to see where that possibility of tornado potential is. And I'm going to progress this along a little bit further. There looks to be quite a bit of bulk shear that's available there for the Tuesday, or this should be Monday rather, Monday into Tuesday. And if I had the sounding available, I would certainly show you, but I don't. Let me see if I have my drawer on here. Do not. For some reason, it's gone. But right here, this is kind of where we're expecting some severe weather. And then that is on the second, basically from the second through the 5th and 6th. It's going to be a very active pattern. Ohio Valley, we expect some more storms to ramp up late next week as well. And then kind of die out for a little bit before we get another wave. Look at this, June 8th, more northern plains. This could obviously change and will likely change. It's not a negatively tilted trough so much until it gets into right here. That becomes more negatively tilted and could have some severe weather for areas of Pittsburgh, New York, upper New York State, all those areas there. That's what I kind of wanted to touch base with real quick. CW Barnes, thanks so much for the rose. I appreciate it. All right, so again, this is a look at day 5. Okay, this would be your second and 3rd of June. We go further out into that, we're really not expecting a whole lot. Let's look at day 7, day 8. Nothing real huge. They don't usually go too far there. Day 3, let's go back to today's outlooks, right? Let's go back to that. Again, general thunderstorms in the lighter shade of green, that's up into areas of Sioux Falls. And then the marginal risk goes all the way over to Jonesboro, Memphis. And then the slight risk, more isolated to Lubbock, Abilene, San Angelo. And that wind risk is right there as well. Tornado risk is all over the place today. New Orleans, Mobile, Pensacola, Panama City, and all the way over to Savannah, Georgia area, Charleston, South Carolina as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, there's those risks again. Let's go ahead and take a look at forecast. All right, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 7-day forecast. Again, today expecting to get to 70s. 80s tomorrow, and we're going to continue that trend for the warm temps Monday. Sometimes when that warm weather comes in, naturally we start getting more of that moisture to kick up from the Gulf as well, make its way north. So Monday we do see 90 degrees in our future. We could end up approaching mid 90s actually, especially when you factor in the dew points that are expected for that as well. We'll cool things back down a little bit after some nightly storms Monday, Tuesday, even. This forecast shows that with the 70% chance of thunderstorms. Again, we're expecting that to be sometime in the 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. time frame, but lots to iron out yet. That's a long ways away. That's still Monday into Tuesday. We're going to see that active weather pattern continue through your midweek as we do see the forecast showing for continued chances of rain showers. Northwest winds, though, so it will change once you get into your Wednesday. That wind will be sharply coming out of the northwest for areas of Sioux Falls. Aberdeen, what are we expecting for you there? 70s for highs today, continuing to get a warming trend. We won't get very close to 90 on Monday. 85 before Monday night storms show up. We'll get down to 58 for an overnight low, and Tuesday night 49. We barely get to 50, close to 50 for overnight. And again, active weather pattern continues there. Rapid City expecting 70s for your weekend. We'll likely get a little slightly above 80 for your Saturday. Got 79 there, but still that wind coming out of the north as it switches. And we do still have winds expected to be out of the southeast for Sunday. 88 degrees before storms try to show up Sunday night. I'm not too sold on how much that's going to be. We'll have to see how that plays out. I'm not sure. I think a lot of this is going to shift more on the east side and central part of South Dakota versus Rapid City, but nonetheless, we'll have to see how that plays out. But look at that. Highs in the 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday as that northwest wind shows us what it's all about. Pure South Dakota, we're looking at 70s there too. 86 approach Sunday, expect close to 90. And then we do have, again, storms possible for your Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. Most of the severe weather is going to be in, again, the mid-afternoon, late evening hours. That's kind of what we're expecting as of right now. All right, that's the latest information that we have for the weather updates. I appreciate you all joining. I only gained 3 new followers on TikTok. So that's what happens when you end up getting a slower weather pattern. And that's all right. Glad to have a little bit slower of a weather pattern. Somebody sent me a new comment. What in the world's going on here? All right. So thanks so much for joining again. Um, let's go back to severe weather coverage. Let's check on
A
that
new
severe
severe
weather right now.
thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Let's see where that severe weather is right here in areas Wichita Falls. All right, so it's approaching Ryan. We don't have, there's no tornado warnings active. Thankfully, only two severe thunderstorm warnings, and these are in the approaching the northern Texas, extreme northern Texas portion. These storms have a capability of producing 1.25 inch radar indicated hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, moving east at 25 miles per hour. These are going to approach and impact areas of Waurika, Byers, Hastings, Sugden, Taylor, and Charlie. Really not expecting this to get uh, too big. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar echo tops here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Analyze this a little bit further here, and we could try to see what we got. We got 41,000 feet, 43,000 feet, 45,000 feet. So these storms are brewing pretty good. Let's go ahead and play that out a little bit further here. It's not really showing a whole lot more development. Up here in the northern section, I think these lines of storms are going to kind of meander and get that general marginal risk that is outlined here. See, it's in that general marginal risk. Whereas down here, we're expecting the later time storms to approach. Again, those storms are expected to fire up sometime after, let's see here, so late evening in areas of San Angelo, and you're in that 2 out of 5 risk. Abilene area, you're expecting, goodness gracious, 78 degrees. You're expecting by the time you get to Tuesday, you're going to be in the 90s, mid 90s. So that heat wave is going to come on through again. So that's the latest information that we have from the 605 Chaser Studios. Yes, I can check the wildfires. Let's go ahead and do that. Um, maybe not. Sorry, this is a little bit new of a tool that I use, so maybe I won't be able to. Let's see here. Well, let me find a new option here. If nothing else, let's go to CPC and see if we can get that information here. I can actually use another tool. Hey, Sweet Turn Savage, anything for Lansing, Michigan? Not expecting anything in Lansing, Michigan today. And actually, Lansing, Michigan, your area is not even under a general thunderstorms for today. You got some general thunderstorms for tomorrow, and then day 3 um, gonna dry out again. Sorry, just trying to get the fire information here. It's what happens when you stop using a tool that isn't working that great. All right, so that's not what I wanted. Trying to remember where all the old time stuff is. Stuff that before all these apps were on here. There we go. Wildfire information, not layered. Let's go ahead. All current fire. All right, current wildfire, significant wildland fire potential for May. I don't know if that's what you wanted me to look at. Above normal wildfire potential. So I'm not sure which area you want me to look at, Bree. Let me see if I can pull this here. One moment. Yeah, this is a little bit of a difficult tool to use here. Let's see, fire. Sorry, Aubrey. I'm not having much luck. It's been a while since I used some of the weather.gov fire stuff, and they've changed quite a bit. So it's a little hard for me to utilize that tool. I was trying to get my radar scope that I have on my laptop on here, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. They want me to pay on two different devices. I'm like, no, maybe we could get this. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, now we got fires. All right. Here are the current fires that we got going on. This is firms.mod.aps. Oh, I'm not even gonna. Um, let's see if I can put this in the chat. All right, so Aubrey, I gave the information to where you can find the fire information for Resource Management System US and Canada. So there's lots of fires. I don't know which area that you wanted me to check on specifically, but there's a lot of fires, obviously, in areas of Texas going on, wildfires and all that. Look at all of these. It's been a while since I utilized these. Gives a lat, longitude. This was updated on the 28th, so unfortunately don't have anything else other than that. Let's take a look at today. We do have some wildfires there. Looks like most of the wildfires up in areas pretty hot up here. Butte Creek. I don't usually spend a whole lot of time on fire weather, but it is a definite danger. All right, that's all the time I'm going to spend on that. I didn't see if Aubrey was still on there or not. So, all right. So again, the last thing that we're going to look at again is today's outlook. We're seeing Lubbock, Fort Worth area, just west of Fort Worth area for that slight risk. I'm going to let you guys go. God bless. Stay safe. I got to head to work, and you guys have a great rest of your day. I won't be live today. Again, the weather pattern is expected to kind of die out a little bit before next week when it really ramps up, and that would end up being for day 5 as we get into the probabilistic outlook. Gosh, I'm just really struggling with this new app. There we go. Day 5. Again, possibility of some significant severe weather all the way up into areas of Fargo, Aberdeen, Huron. I don't suspect to see anything significant over in Rapid City. Um, we'll have to see how all this treks through. I'll continue to keep monitoring this for my folks in South Dakota and northwestern Nebraska, as well as areas of southeastern North Dakota. But it's the best outlook that Storm Chaser could see because planes and Sanity can possibly be pretty great. You can see the tornado coming pretty good, and that makes it easier to warn people. So that's why most chasers love chasing in the plains, in the northern plains.